Om Sri Sai Ram. We have come to the last part of this particular chapter where we have studied about Cartesian product, relations and functions. Today we will be solving some problems of the exercise on functions, and further we will be doing problems from miscellaneous exercise which contains problems on all the subtopics. So let us begin. This exercise we have done some problems in the previous class and now we are continuing it. So the first problem is a very simple one, fx equal to 2x minus 5. And then he says find f0, f7 and f of minus 3. They are nothing but finding the value of a function at 0, at 7, at minus 3. How do you find value of a function? In place of x, substitute that value. Wherever x is there, write 0. It is 2 into 0 minus 5, 2 into 7 minus 5, 2 into minus 3 minus 11. So when it is 0, it is minus 5, when it is 7, it is 9, and when it is minus 3, it is minus 11. Let us move to the next problem. A function T which maps temperature in degrees Celsius into temperature in degree Fahrenheit is given. How it is given? He has given it as Tc equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. And he says find T0, T28, T minus 10, and then finally he says find C when Tc is equal to 212. Yes, this problem actually you study in physics in 9th standard, where you learn how to convert Celsius temperature to Fahrenheit, etc. So this is the relation. So here we have a relation between the temperatures. So he says find T0. As we did in the previous problem, same way, wherever C comes, write 0. So 9 into 0 by 5 plus 32. 9 into 0 is 0. 0 divided by anything is 0. So the answer is 32. 28. 9 into 28 by 5 plus 32. Simplify it. Divide with 5. 5 5s are, 5 zeros are, 5 4s are, plus 32 is 82.4 degrees. T of minus 10, 9 into minus 10 by 5 plus 32. 5 1s are, 5 2s are. So it is minus 18 plus 32. Finally, he says find C when Tc is 212. Substitute. Tc is 212 equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. Get that 32 here, you will get 180 equal to 9c by 5. Divide with 9, 20 into 5 is 100. So 100 is equal to c. This is the answer. So these problems are quite simple when you have to find out value of the function. So what is that we need to do? In place of x, substitute that value. You get value of the function. Let us move to the next problem. Yes, it is again a different kind of problem, but we already solved this kind of problem where he says find the range. First one is fx equal to 2 minus 3x, comma, x belongs to R and x is greater than 0. The second problem is fx equal to x square plus 2, x is a real number. Third one is a very simple one, fx equal to x and x is a real number. So let us do the first one, fx equal to 2 minus 3x. What does it mean? What do you mean by finding range? Finding range means when we substitute positive values of x, whatever we are going to get is called range. So this fx actually is nothing but y. So y is equal to 2 minus 3x. Rewrite it in terms of x. So how do you rewrite it? You can say 3x equal to 2 minus y, x equal to 2 minus y by 3. So in this way, we get x equal to 2 minus y by 3. And what is x? X according to him is greater than 0. So we can say that since x is greater than 0, we can say that 2 minus y by 3 is greater than 0. Take 3 that side. 2 minus y is greater than 0. Minus y is greater than minus 2, hence y is less than 2. And that defines the range. So what is the range? So range is less than 2. Upper limit is fixed and here it is from minus infinity. So since it is minus infinity is not a fixed number, so minus infinity to 2. All the values which are less than 2 on the number line constitute the range of the function. Take the next problem, fx equal to x square plus 2. Do the same thing. Let y equal to x square plus 2. X square is equal to y minus 2. So x is equal to under root of y minus 2. What does he say? X belongs to R. X is any real number. What we should ensure? We must ensure that inside the square root it is positive. So how do you ensure that? We will say y minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. So y is greater than or equal to 2. So this is the range. So what is the range for this particular problem? For this problem the range is starting from 2 up to infinity. All real numbers. All real numbers starting from 2 up to infinity. Finally, Yes. So the range is starting from 2 because y is greater than or equal to 2. Since it is equal to 2, we take it as closed interval, whereas in the previous problem it was less than 2, so it is not closed interval, but it is an open interval because 2 is not included. Coming to the last one, fx equal to x or y equal to x. So whatever is x, y is also same. The domain is real number, so the range is also real number. Let us move to the next problem. Yes. Let us take up the problems from miscellaneous exercise. He has given two relations. One is fx and another is gx. And he says that prove that f is a function but g is not a function. Fx equal to the second one is gx. So this is the function. He says prove that f is a function. How do you prove f is a function? Fx is x square. Fx equal to x square in the limits 0 to 3 is a polynomial function. Similarly, fx equal to 3x is also a polynomial function. But what is happening at 3? It is changing. So let us check at 3. In the first case, at x equal to 3, f of 3, fx equal to x square gives you f3 equal to 3 square equal to 9. Same at x equal to 3, the second one fx equal to 3x also gives you 3 into 3 9. Means what? 3 has got image on 9. 3 is not having, even though the function is changing, 3 has got image on 9 only in both the cases. Since 3 has got only one image, we can say that hence fx is a function. What was the definition of function? The definition of function was each element has a unique image. So 3 has got image on the same 9. Now whereas we come to gx, here also it is changing at 2. So we can say that gx equal to x square is a function. Independently it is a function, there is no doubt. Similarly, gx equal to 3x is a function because both are polynomial functions. But it is changing, the interval is changing at 2. So first find out what is g2. Find out at x equal to 2. G of x equal to x square will give you g2 equal to 2 square equal to 4 and gx equal to 3x will give you g2 equal to 3 into 2 equal to 6. Means what? One element 2 at x equal to 2, this is giving you image at 4 and the another function is giving the image at 6. Same element is giving two images. Same element is having images on 4 as well as 6, as x equal to 2 has two images at 4 and 6. So, gx is not a function. Fx is a function, but gx is not a function. Why fx is a function? Because x equal to 3 gives you same image, whereas g2 is not giving same image, it is giving image, its image is on 4 as well as on 6, so it is not a function. Let us move further. Second problem, third problem, he says find the domain of the function he is asking us to find domain. He didn't ask for range, so don't try to finding out range. Only have to find out domain. Domain means what? The values which can be substituted for x. Since it is a rational function, you can see that the numerator and denominator both are polynomials. So, it is a rational function. What is the definition of rational function? A function which is in the form fx by gx is called rational function if fx and gx both are polynomials, but gx is not equal to 0. So, you have to just ensure that the denominator does not become 0. For whichever value it becomes 0, avoid that. All other values will constitute the domain. So, this can be written as x plus 1 whole square and factorize this x minus 6, x minus 2. So, when the denominator will become 0, if you substitute x equal to 6 or x equal to 2. If x equal to 2 or 6, fx is not defined. Hence, range of fx is r minus 2 comma 6. This is the answer. Apart from 2 and 6, if you substitute any value, fx is defined. So, that constitutes the domain, not range, because we are talking about domain. Domain of fx is r minus 2, 6. Let us go to the next problem, problem number 5. A similar kind of problem. He says find the domain and range both. Of the function find the domain and range of the function fx equal to modulus of x minus 1. So, what kind of function it is? It is a modulus function. What is the domain of modulus function? Any real number. Modulus function is defined for any real number. Hence, domain is R. Now we need to find out range. Range means what? When we substitute different values of x, what you are going to get? What you are going to get? Since it is a modulus function, you are only going to get positive numbers. You are not going to get negative number, because that's what is the modulus function is all about. Modulus of minus 5 is 5. Modulus of minus 10 is 10. Modulus of x minus 1 is x minus 1. So whatever you substitute for x, finally you are going to get a positive number. So for range, we can say that x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, or x is greater than or equal to 1. So we can say range is 1 onwards up to infinity. Any real number 1 to infinity will be the range of this function. Let us move to the next problem. Sixth problem, he says let f x to x square by x square plus 1 or 1 plus x square, one and the same, such that x belongs to R, be a function from R to R. He says find range. Domain he has already given. How do you know domain is given? Because he says x belongs to R. X and y. X defines domain and y defines range. So the domain is x. What is x? X belongs to R. That's why he didn't ask what is the domain. He said find only range. So here range means y. Y is equal to x square upon 1 plus x square. Look at this carefully. X square is always going to be a positive number. 1 plus x square is also going to be a positive number. So both numerator and denominator both are positive numbers. And what do you find? X square and 1 plus x square are positive. That is one aspect. Second aspect is, whatever be the x square, denominator is 1 more than that. Let us say x square is 2, denominator is 3. So 2 by 3. Let us say x square is 5, denominator is 6. So what you are getting? 5 by 6. So whatever you substitute for x square, you are going to get a fraction like 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 5 by 6, 7 by 8, 10 by 11, 100 by 101, 200 by 201. Means the value which you are going to get will be less than 1. It is not going to be more than 1. So x square and 1 plus x square are positive, and we can say that 1 plus x square is greater than x square. As a result, x square upon 1 plus x square is going to be less than 1. It cannot be equal to 1. Can it be equal to 1? Because that can happen only if the whole fraction is equal to 1. Can the whole fraction become 1? What value you can substitute? Minimum value, let us say 0. So you will be having 0 by 1. 0 by 1 is not 1. It is 0 only. So less than 1, and certainly it is going to be greater than 0. So what is the range? Can it be less than 0? No. Why? Because x square cannot be negative. X square is always positive. The minimum value is 0 only. Okay. So 0 by 1, again it is not means it will be 0, yes, we can take 0. Suppose x square is 0. So you will have 0 by 1. 0 by 1 is how much? 0. So it is from 0 to 1. So that is the range of this particular function. Let us move to the next problem. And then he says the function is from z to z. Not only that, fx equal to ax plus b. And then he says find a and b. A and b are integers. Why integers? Because it is from z to z. Not only that, he says find a and b. Very simple problem. Simply substitute the values. Suppose x is 1. So what is f1? f1 is a into 1 plus b, and according to him it is also equal to 1. So one equation you will get a plus b equal to 1. Take this pair 2, 3, substitute in that. What is f2? A into 2 plus b, and according to him if you substitute 2 you are going to get 3. So the other equation is 2a plus b equal to 3. Subtract, you will get minus a equal to minus 2, hence a equal to 2. If you substitute 2 there, you will get b equal to minus 1. This is the answer. Let us move to the next problem. Let A be a relation from n to n defined by problem number 9. Let R be a relation. Remember, he is talking about relation now. Relation. R is a relation from n to n defined as R equal to the ordered pair AB such that AB belongs to n and A equal to B square. Remember, R is from n to n, set of natural numbers to set of natural numbers. He says find out whether the following are true. What is the first one? The first one is AA belongs to R. For all A belongs to n. Second one he says AB belongs to R implies BA belongs to R. Third one, AB belongs to R, BC belongs to R, implies AC belongs to R. He is asking, are they true? And then he says, justify your answer. Remember, this problem is on relation. We have defined what is relation. We have defined what is domain of relation, codomain of relation, range of relation. Nothing more. We have not studied anything more in relation. Next year you are going to study types of relations. And when you are going to study about types of relations, basically we come across three types of relations. The first one is called reflexive, second one is called symmetric, third one is called transitive. If a relation has all the three properties, it is called equivalence relation. Through this particular problem, he is hinting the three types of relations: reflexive, symmetric, transitive. What is reflexive relation? If every element has got image on itself. For example, let us say we have a line L. We can say that line L is parallel to itself. So it is reflexive. Let us say the relation is equal to. We know that every number is equal to itself. 5 is equal to 5, 10 equal to 10. So equality of the numbers is reflexive. What is symmetric? Symmetric says if A is related to B with one relation, if B is also related to A with same relation, the relation is symmetric. Let us say Ram is brother of Shyam. So we can say that Shyam is also brother of Ram. So brotherhood is symmetric. A line is perpendicular to another line. L is perpendicular to M. We can say that M is also perpendicular to L. A triangle is congruent to second triangle. We can say that second triangle is also congruent to first triangle. So it is called symmetric. Third relation which we study in the next year is about transitivity. If A is related to B with some relation, if B is related to with C with some relation, A is related to C. If A is also related to C with same relation, it is called transitive. So without giving definitions, without discussing about it, indirectly he is discussing the same three relations with the help of this problem. So we will also not mention clearly that we are talking about reflexive, symmetric and transitive, but we will be doing that. How do you do that? The first one he says AA belongs to R. What do you mean by AA belongs to R? What is the relation here? Relation is A equal to B square. Let us say A equal to 2. Let A equal to 2. If A equal to 2, A should be related to A. Then A square is equal to 4. Can we say that A equal to A square? If A equal to A square, then what should happen? 2 should be equal to 4, and we know that 2 is not equal to 4, hence false. AA means what? In place of B also you substitute A. A should be equal to A square. It is actually true only if you choose A as 1, because 1 is only equal to 1 square. Other than that, if you take any natural number, let us say if you choose 3, 3 is not equal to 3 square. 4 is not equal to 4 square. 5 is not equal to 5 square. It is true only in the case of 1. But to say that it is true or false, even in one case if it is false, we say the statement is false. We don't need to take several examples. We just took one example, A equal to 2, A square becomes 4. We know 2 is not equal to 4, so it is false. Go to the next one. He says AB belongs to R implies that BA belongs to R. Now, this particular relation, remember we are going to call it later on symmetric. Symmetric relation is always between two different elements. So give two different values to A and B. So let us say, let A equal to 2, B equal to 3. According to the relation, what should happen? No, he says AB belongs to R. If AB belongs to R, we have to check whether BA belongs to R. If A is equal to B square, think about a pair of numbers in which A is equal to B square. You can choose any value for that. Okay. So let us say we choose A equal to 2, A equal to 4, B equal to 2. What is the relation? A equal to B square. Hence, B square is equal to 4. So what do you find? A is 4, B square is 4. So the first condition is satisfied. Now we have to see whether by reversing it, it is true. If you reverse it, what will happen? You will get b equal to a square. So what is b here? What is b here? b is 2. What is a square? A square is, a is 4, so 4 square equal to 16. So we find that b is 2, a square is 16, which are not equal. b is not equal to a square. So this is also false. What does it mean? With whatever relation a is related to b, b is not related with same relation with a. So it is false. There we are going to say that it is not symmetric, because AB does not imply BA. Finally, come to the third one. Take three numbers now in such a way that A is equal to B square. Now let us say A is equal to 4, B is equal to 2. Okay? So A equal to B square, it is true because 4 is equal to 2 square. Now take something for C in such a way that B is equal to C square. Let us say B is equal to root 2. So B equal to, B is what? 2. 2 is equal to root 2 square. Now you check whether A is equal to C square. What is the relation? If A and B are related, if B and C are related, it implies that A and C are related with same relation. So if A equal to C square, what is A? A is 4. What is C square? C square is root 2 square, which is 2. So we find that A is not equal to C square. So this relation is also false. So all three cases it is false. It is neither reflexive, nor symmetric, nor transitive. But we will not use those words right now. We will simply say the given statements are false. Okay? Let us move to the next. And what does he say here? F be a subset of Z cross Z. Defined by F such that AB comma A plus B, such that AB belongs to Z. F is a function from Z to Z. What is Z cross Z? Z cross Z is Cartesian product. We have studied that relation is a subset of Cartesian product. Function is a subset of relation. So we can say that function is a subset of Cartesian product. What he is asking is F a function from Z to Z? Take some examples to check. Give some values. Let A equal to 1, B equal to 2. Okay. So AB is what? AB is 1 into 2. And what is A plus B? It is 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Take one more. Let us say A equal to 1, B equal to 3. So what is AB? 1 into 3, which is 3, and A plus B equal to 1 plus 3 equal to 4. here we have two sets. Okay, let us say A, let us say B. AB to A plus B. This is the relation. So, if it is AB, that is 2, 2 has got image on 3. 2 has got image on 3. Okay? And then in this case, what is happening? Here we have 3 has got image on 4. Suppose if you take A equal to 0, B equal to 1. So, what will be A plus B? It will be 0 plus 1 equal to 1, and what is AB? AB will be 0. So, here if you take 0, 0 will AB is 0, 0 has got image on 1. Remember, you have to take only integers. You cannot take negative, you cannot take fractions. Check whether anything with 1 will give you the different image. Yes, of course. Take for example, A equal to 1 and B equal to 5. So, what is A plus B? It is 6. What is A into B? It is 5. So, distinct elements are giving distinct images. So, we can say that it is a function. Suppose if you are able to find even a single example in which one element is giving more than one images, then it is not true. Just think about it for a while. Can we take some other values, and in that case we should be able to get same element 2 images. Any value you can choose. Think about it for a while. We have taken 1 2, we have taken 1 3, let us say 2 3. Let us say A equal to 2, B equal to 3. So, what is A plus B? A plus B is 5, and what is AB? 2 into 3 equal to 6. So, if you take 5, it will have image at 6. Let us say A equal to 0, B equal to 2. So, what is A plus B? A plus B is 2. What is AB? It is 0. So, 2 will have image, 2 will have image on 0, yes. This justifies. We have taken this particular example is A equal to 1, B equal to 2. We got 2 has got image on 3. When we are taking A equal to 0 and A equal to 2, we find A plus B is 2 and A into B is equal to 0, means 2 has got image on 0. Since 2 has got image on 0 as well as 3, what is the definition of function? The definition of function says each element has unique image. Since 2 has images on 0 as well as 3, so f is not a function. So, you have to give little bit thought, you have to think, you have to try various combinations, and if it comes, it is not true, it is not true. One example is enough to say that it is not. Okay? Let us come to the last problem. Says A has got elements and he says function is from A to n, means this is the domain, but the range is set of natural numbers, and he defines Fn as the highest prime factor of n. find range of f. So what you need to do? Write all the prime factors of each of the numbers. For example, prime factors of 9. Tell me what are the prime factors of 9? 9 can be divided by 1, 3 and 9. Among them, which are the prime numbers? Only 3. Okay. So the prime factor means, first what you do is write the factors. Factors of 9 are 1, 3, 9. And among them, the prime factor is only 1 and that itself is 3. Take the next number, factors of 10. You can divide 10 with 1, 2, 5, 10. Among them, which are prime factors? 2 and 5. He says highest prime factor is 5. 2 and 5 both are prime factors, but the highest prime factor is 5. Next number is 11. Factors of 11, only 2, because 11 itself is a prime number. So highest prime factor is 11. Next number is 12. Factors of 12. We know that 12 can be divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. This many numbers we can divide 12. All of them are factors of 12. Among them, choose prime factors. So 2 is prime factor, 3 is prime factor. Among them, choose highest prime factor. Finally, 13. You know that 13 itself is a prime number. So the prime factors, the factors are only 1 and 13, and the highest prime factor is 13. What did he ask? He says write the range. What is the domain? Domain is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the range is, what you got is range. Range is equal to, for 9 we got 3, comma, for 10 we got 5, comma, for 11 we got 11, for 12 we got again 3, no need to repeat to write, for 13 we got 13. So this forms the range of the function. So in this way we find that in this particular exercise, problems based upon relation and functions are quite simple. Some problems require little bit of thinking. So with this we come to a close of this particular chapter called Relations and Functions. Thank you. Sai Ram.